All right, so this is the Stuff I Heard podcast. I'm your host, Joshua Peak, and greetings from paradise. We're here in Jamaica. You guys can see the ocean behind me. I was going to try to do a podcast from down there by the water, but the ocean waves are lapping up against the rocks down there kind of loud, so it's one of those things that's kind of hard to get the audio right. And at least with this, we've got the microphone on the camera. You may pick up a little bit of the... what are you doing? I have an assistant that's trying to help me, and I need to scold her. Stop touching it. You're not helping. Okay. So anyway.
You're right in the center.
I am. So I can see myself.
There you are.
The things you got to do to make perfection happen. You guys, you know you tune in for perfection, right? This is all about perfection. Yeah, I know. So we didn't realize it, but coming to Jamaica, we are at a resort called Silver Sands. It's on the north coast, about 45-minute drive from the airport, and it's in a gated community. We rented a really nice house. It's beautiful. It overlooks the ocean. And a couple things we didn't realize. One of the things is that, first off, we kind of time jumped a little bit. We're an hour ahead of our East Coast time. So just the travel time alone was kind of exhausting, but also, you know, here it turns dark and right away you're thinking, it's only like 6 o'clock. How is it? I'm so tired. And it's because back home it's later. So we all tried to adjust a little bit. We tried to stay awake, but there's a lot to take in whenever you're traveling. I don't know if you guys ever had to catch a flight where it's super early in the morning, where you get up at maybe 2 in the morning to be able to be at the airport in time to take off at 5:30 in the morning, like we did. So when you get up at 2 in the morning, you can imagine that by 6 or 7 o'clock at night, you're exhausted. Plus, whenever you're traveling through those areas, your eyes are constantly trying to take in the surroundings. You're looking at all of the trees and all of the landscape, and oh, look, there's the ocean. Oh my goodness. Look how close we are to that vehicle. I can't believe we're driving on the left side of the street. All of the things that are naturally touristy, right? So it is one of those things where just mentally and physically both, we were exhausted. Now, we are renting a place. You can find it online under Silver Sands Resorts, or look up Silver Sands Jamaica, or any of those things. You can find these houses for like a VRBO almost, with a little bit of a difference. Here, there is a staff that actually helps you with your meals. You have a cook on duty, someone who helps clean. I can tell you that from top to bottom, this house is immaculate. There's a groundskeeper that keeps up with the pool as well as the landscaping outside. They also provide transportation from the airport and back. Now, one of my concerns with coming on a trip like this is, how do we pay these people? I mean, is this part of the I'm renting the house fee? And the short answer is kind of. Their fees are tied into the resort, so your money that you pay to rent the house is tied into that. But there is an opportunity for you to tip them. Now, on the websites, they have information about how to tip them correctly, and I want to make sure we do that because they are working basically to provide a pleasant experience for us, which I really appreciate. But the other part of it is, you know, you kind of realize quickly by traveling along the pathway to get here that there's not a lot of opportunity for people who live on the islands except for tourism. So as a tourist, you have to accept the responsibility of saying that, okay, I'm going to help and give these people money towards my cool experience. I mean, it's nice that I get this cool experience, but you can't just think to yourself, how much does it cost? This much? Okay, I just need to save that much. No. Save more, bring more with you, and be prepared to give people a tip once in a while or pay a little extra here and there just to help out, just to be nice. Be a nice human. I couldn't help but think about how, you know, years ago, Ronald Reagan was our president, and they came up with this thing called trickle-down economics. And his idea was that, now this is me learning about it as a child, explaining it all these years later, so forgive me if I'm not correct. But the idea was, if we could tax people less as they're rich, then maybe they'll give more to people who are less fortunate, or give more opportunity to those less fortunate. A horrible idea, because it did not work. He undervalued the level of greed in which people are willing to take it. There's a lot of people who are just plain greedy, and that ended up being the case for a lot of people. Now, some people did use the idea and run with it, and they provided jobs for people, and they opened up opportunities, and they gave a lot away, and that was rare. For the most part, if you say, here, I'm going to give you a fortune, you go, okay, how do I get more fortune, right? Because, I mean, I got to thinking about myself. If I were in a situation that I'm in now financially 20 years ago, my thought and my fear would be, how do I stop this from going backwards? Like, it is a perpetual race in a way, like a rat race of money. When you fight tooth and nail to get to a certain place, the last thing you want to do is have to go back to tooth and nail when you're physically at the point where you can't. And I think that's the fear that drives a lot of us, is we realize our own mortality and we go, I can't do this. How can I get to where I can't do this anymore? I need to be able to provide for my family and for myself, so that I'm not just broke at some point. And listen, I realize I'm in a blessed situation. I have family and friends that are all financially doing okay, and this is an opportunity to rent a place in what most people would deem as paradise. So being able to stay in a place like this is not lost on me what an opportunity it is. Now, I can tell you that we have gone on Sandals resorts before, and that is way more expensive than what we're doing right now. This is sort of an experiment for us because we've never done this before. For us, this is us and a group of friends all agreeing to pay a portion of the cost of what it takes. You may ask yourself, how much does it take? Well, for this house, we have a 4-bedroom. It comes with 3 king-size beds and 1 queen bed, and I want to say it's around $4,500 for the whole stay with the staff. Now you figure you probably need to bring another $1,000 or $500 per person extra just to tip out the staff. That would be the smart thing to do. It gives you percentages on the website of what to tip out, and I'm not great at math, but I have friends who have figured it out, and I'll trust them to figure it out as we go. So bring extra. If you plan on doing excursions, bring extra for that. There are a lot of places that take your credit card, but you will find that they charge a minimal international fee, which is usually like 99 cents for a transition fee. It's not very high. Food is going to be a little more expensive here. There are certain things that you can't get back in the States that you can't get here at all, just because of availability and also because of health concerns. There's several things that we sell in the United States that's very unhealthy, and there's a lot of places that you go to that won't sell those things because they've decided, why are we allowing people to sell things that are unhealthy for people? So some of your natural coffee creamers that you think are awesome, you're not going to be able to get here. White sugar, not going to be able to get here. It's refined. All these refined things that you eat at home that eventually you find out causes bad health problems with cancer and A1C and all this other stuff, they just don't sell them in other places. So it's funny to hear our friends talk about why can't I get this, why can't I get that? Because it's not good for you. So anyway, let me back up. We were able to, from the airport, get together with our driver, go on a drive over here, and he asked, do you guys want to stop at a store and get some provisions on the way? The house will have things available, but you might want a few things extra, like maybe some beer or some liquor that you're wanting, or some snacks. And we were like, yeah, sure, that'd be a great idea. So he stopped by a grocery store. We were able to go in. A lot of things that we keep refrigerated in the United States wasn't refrigerated on the shelves here. There's no need for them to keep cold beer. There was one little tiny cabinet that had some Coronas in it, but it had a Corona advertisement on it, so it was like something they were trying to do themselves. But most of the beer was hot on the shelf. Liquor, they could sell liquor in the grocery store, which is, we can't do that where I'm at in South Carolina. I know some states allow that, but not everyone. Going around to find soda, they do allow soda, but again, not made with unnatural sweeteners. It's just made with sugar. got all of our stuff together that we needed or wanted. We kept looking for limes, and someone explained, yeah, we don't have limes because they're not in season right now. Well, of course. I mean, I didn't think about that, but yeah, it does take a lot of money to import stuff like that. So rather than waste the money on importing something when you could just wait for it, and they had lime juice on the shelf, just get the lime juice. So anyway, we got our provisions, got up to the cash register, and a guy come up and he was like kind of motioning me over for a different cart. Like I had my buggy for the store, and he kept motioning me to this weird looking vertical cart, and he was like, I'll put it on here. And I was like, excuse me? And he's like, we can't take the buggies outside, but we can take these carts outside. And I was like, oh, okay. And my wife was like, think about it. She goes, there's a lot of people here who would probably take these carts and you'd never see them again. Also, if you keep these carts inside, they keep them nice and refreshed, and they work great, and they're never in the elements, so they never get dirt in the store and all that other stuff. These buggy looking things, these big cart looking things, they can haul those out there all the time and probably wash them off real easy because it was made of denser aluminum. So as I'm going through the line and we're doing all of this, they running across the register, and the first thing I noticed was the prices. All of the prices looked like they were extremely high, and I was like, $200 for beer? I was like, wait a second. And I was thinking, oh wait, that's Jamaican money. So I Googled it, and Jamaican money the transition rate is like 0.065 is $1. So not even 7 cents of their money equals $1. Doesn't mean that it buys you less. You got to think about conversion rates again. It doesn't buy you less. It just means it takes more of the numbers to equal the same amount as our numbers. So with that being said, our bill ended up being like, I don't know, what was it, 250,000 Jamaican dollars, which ended up being like 160 bucks. Okay, that's fine. We did buy 160 bucks worth of stuff. I was looking at what we had in the buggy, and I was thinking about it last night, and I was like, yeah, that's about that in America too. I mean, it's same for same. It's just the fact of you're in another country, so to pay for it, it was a little bit different. They didn't have paper or plastic. They only had the reusable bags, which you have to purchase as you go. I only needed one, which is fine. And then the guy insisted on carrying the stuff out in his little cart. He's like, it's my job. And I was like, okay. But I'm also doing the math in my head and thinking, I need to tip him something because this is probably part of the gig. So I asked my wife for some ones, and I gave him $5 for taking the stuff out. Again, I'm on vacation. It's a nice thing to do. Why not just go ahead and tip the guy? I could have easily carried the stuff, but vacation. So we get to the house, and the ladies are up cooking up a storm in the kitchen. It smells so great, but we're trying to hustle stuff inside, so I didn't get a chance to like really meet them. And I knew that we needed to find out, first of all, which bedroom we're in so we could drop off bags, how to get kind of set up, go ahead and put some stuff away. And I really wanted to get a layout of what the pool looked like, what the scenery looked like. I wanted to get in the pool, but I'm going, okay, to get in the pool, I gotta make sure I have my bathing suit, and I gotta get some suntan lotion on, because if I don't have sunscreen, I'm gonna burn. I haven't had my shirt off all year, and this is kind of April, so this is the first time of the year I'm gonna get sun on my shoulders, and I knew if I didn't put something on, I was gonna get sunburned. So I'm like, crap, it's gonna be at least an hour before I can get in the water. As a kid, I just want to run and jump in the water, but I know that responsibilities, as they say, I had things I had to do. So we took care of that, got everything put away. We were able to come back up, say hello. By then, they'd already made us some lunch and had it out on the back patio, right out here, right out here. So was able to, sit out there, have a little bit of some chicken wings and some fresh rolls, and kind of take in the sight. She had made us like a rum punch, which was cool too. Yeah, it was nice. The kitchen was fully stocked up with a bunch of stuff already. None of the stuff that we'd bought, but it's kind of good that we were able to stop and get some of those things. But examining the house, there was a couple of things that I liked and a couple of things I didn't like, and I'll probably make a YouTube video on those. But right away, one of the things that I didn't like was that the bathroom is not air conditioned. In order to get it cold, you have to close the windows. For the one downstairs, you have to close the windows and the door and turn the air on in your room and blow a fan that way, and it just made getting a shower last night a little uncomfortable. So, so far that's my only complaint. Also, they gave us keys to our bedrooms, and I didn't understand why. I was like, why are you giving me a key to the bedroom? I'm gonna be here. But this morning we had one of our friends lock herself out of her room, and she was like, oh no, my key's in the room. So I'm guessing that they want you to lock your room if you're gonna be out and about and you just don't want people going in your room to plumage. I'm guessing that's why. So, but yeah. So then we had some fun playing around in the pool, and a couple of people ran down to the ocean. There's a walkway that goes down to the ocean. This house is called Quadrille, Quadrille, if you ever want to look it up on the internet. He ran down to the ocean a few times and then went swimming in the ocean a few times, and it's kind of a steep walk, so going down and back was going to wear you out. He made a comment, he's like, if you're ever feeling like you ate too much, run this thing a few times and you'll definitely feel the difference. So dinner time came around and we got all cleaned up and sat at this nice fancy dinner table that sits 8 people, and it was one of our friends' birthdays, but dinner last night was jerk chicken that they cooked not only in the house but then took out to the grill and blackened, and some rice and beans and some salad, and then for dessert she made a fresh key lime pie, which was really, really good. So anyway, I can hear the house stirring. You hear him in the background? So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. I just want you guys to think about what you want for vacation. Maybe sometimes get outside your comfort zone. Plan accordingly. Don't be prepared to tip people accordingly for their help and for their service. It's the right thing to do. Also, when you come out of the airport, don't just be willy-nilly agreeing to things because people are right there trying to get you in their car to take you on a ride, if you know what I mean. So keep that in mind. There is a travel advisory here as well as there is for a lot of places, but generally speaking, people are just people. As long as you're not disrespectful or in the wrong place at the wrong time kind of thing, you understand what I mean, right? I mean, you don't leave here at 10:30 at night going, I wonder what we can get into. No, just no. Enjoy the day. Enjoy being a tourist. Act accordingly. And then at a certain time be like, okay, it's time to head back now. So anyway, me and my friends I'm the youngest. I'm 50. So, or I'll be 50 soon. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Oh, look, here's a picture. Here's a picture of what it looks like if you're looking at this on YouTube. Isn't that pretty? It overlooks the ocean. Oh. See, you need to watch the YouTube video so you get all the good stuff. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. From Jamaica, this is me saying, cue the cow.
Cue the cow. Moo, baby.